many Lightning Lanes can I get in one day with Lightning Lane MultiPass in Disney World? I'm about to find out. Lightning Lane MultiPass is Disney's skip the line service that allows you to book 3 Lightning Lanes in advance for different time slots during the day. Lightning Lanes help you skip the standby line. Once you book those 3 in advance, when you get to the park, when you use one, you can book another one. The only Lightning Lanes that Disney guarantees you getting are those first 3 of the day, but you can get a whole lot more with good strategies, which I'm going to show you a ton of today, because we're going to try to get as many as possible around the parks today. Now, there are a couple of ways to skip the line in Disney World. We are focusing today on Lightning Lane MultiPass. This is kind of the most basic version. You pay one date-based and park-based fee to be able to book 3 lanes in advance in that park. Then, as you use the Lightning Lane, you can book another, and so on and so forth, always having up to 3, with some exceptions. Lightning Lane return windows are typically about an hour, and you access them by scanning your park ticket at the ride entrance. MultiPass does allow for park hopping, so no matter what ride you choose first thing in the morning, you can park hop whenever you want and use Lightning Lane in your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th park if you'd like, which we will probably be doing today. Other ways to access Lightning Lane are with Lightning Lane Single Pass, which is offered for the most popular attractions in each park for a ride-based and date-based fee. And then with Lightning Lane Premier Pass, which is a more luxury offering, costs a couple of $100s per person, and that lets you access all of the Lightning Lanes in a park without having to deal with the reservation system, so you can just access them whenever you want. Today we're focused on Lightning Lane MultiPass. This one typically ranges from a little below $20 to around $40 per day, depending on crowds. I'm actually doing this on a very crowded day. I'm doing this on spring break day, so Lightning Lane is very expensive. For Magic Kingdom today it was $37. Typically Magic Kingdom is closer to around $25 per person, but with this one fee you get access to skipping 47 different attractions across all 4 parks. Now, I don't know that it's possible to skip all 47 in one day. We're going to do our darndest to skip as many as possible to see how you can really get your money's worth with this system, sharing tons of tips and strategies so that you can do the same along the way. My first is going to be Space Mountain. Now, this is a very important strategy, which is that your first Lightning Lane of your day, you want to get it as early as possible. When you book Lightning Lanes in advance, you have to deal with a tier system for every park except Animal Kingdom. This tier system means you get to book 1 of the tier 1 attractions. Think things like Peter Pan's Flight, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Space Mountain, and then your other 2 advanced bookings have to come from the other section, which are your less popular rides. The tier system goes away as soon as you scan into your first Lightning Lane, so the earlier you can do that, the better, because then you can book a new Lightning Lane that is one of those tier 1s and no longer have to worry about that. Make sure you get those high demand line skips booked early in your day. Now, we've called this a burner attraction, we've called this a passkey attraction. One thing to note is that it does work if you want to do something like Mad Tea Party, which you typically wouldn't need a Lightning Lane for. But my new strategy is to grab attractions that are going to be harder to get after about an hour of the park day, Space Mountain being one of them. So this is the lowest demand tier 1, which means that when I had my booking window open up, it still had availability as early as 8:30 a.m. So I went ahead and booked it. I'm using this as my attraction that will open up the tier system for me. And I've knocked out a tier 1. So as soon as I do this, I can book a new tier 1, and if I want, I can modify some of my later Lightning Lanes to be tier 1s as well. You can book a new Lightning Lane as soon as you are through all of the scan points for an attraction. Most attractions only have 1 scan point, some, like Space Mountain, just have 2. As soon as you are through a scan point, you can go ahead and get your next Lightning Lane book, so I'm gonna see what options I have. Okay, posted 25 minutes, skipped it for just a 5-minute wait with our Lightning Lane on Space Mountain. That's our first. So I've gone ahead and I already have my 2 other Lightning Lanes booked right now. That is a Buzz for very soon and a Haunted Mansion for around 1 p.m. This is how we're gonna handle Lightning Lanes today and how I encourage you to as well. You can have 3 Lightning Lanes at a time. So that means at all times, one of my Lightning Lanes is going to be booked for something high demand later in the day. Right now that's Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion is the most high demand tier 2 attraction, so it tends to book pretty late in the day, even before the day of, and it can be hard to move it up. So that one is the one we're gonna hold with our 3rd slot. 1 slot is gonna be dedicated to the Lightning Lane that I'm actively doing. So that's gonna be Buzz Lightyear, which I'll be able to scan into very soon. And the final slot, I'm going to leave open to try to refresh for better lightning lanes or to try to get really high demand lightning lanes. So I'm not going to use that slot to book anything like Barnstormer or Mad Tea Party. Instead, that slot is going to be used to look for good times or immediate times for things like Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Peter Pan's Flight. And hopefully that keeps us getting lucky. All right, now my next lightning lane I'm going to grab is going to be Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. I could grab like a Tomorrowland Speedway or something easy right now, but instead I'm going to grab a coffee and try to get a good time for Jungle Cruise, Peter Pan's, or Tiana's. Now there is a challenge with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. This is the most popular lightning lane in the park, this and Peter Pan, that are included in MultiPass. And Tiana's is down, so no one is really messing with their lightning lanes yet because it's unclear when it will come up. So we probably won't see that one become available until it comes up later, but then I think we'll be able to get it. Coffee in Magic Kingdom is a bit tricky. So there's a Starbucks on Main Street, USA that has very long lines for pretty much the whole day until you get a little later. There's this Joffrey's here, also tends to have a very long line, as you can see, for the entire morning until the afternoon. You can also get just regular brewed coffee and even Joffrey's cold brew at a few of the quick service spots. They have regular brewed coffee right here at Lunching Pad, so instead of waiting in that line, I just mobile ordered it and it'll be ready in just a second, and that'll be much better. Okay, here is what has happened. I got my coffee. It's good. Also, I refreshed some lightning lanes. I was able to get a couple of things. So one, I was able to snag a Tiana's, and I literally got like a 6:40 Tiana's, and then I was able to get it to like a 5 o'clock, and then up to a 3. So we now have Tiana's Bayou Adventure for 3, which I would like a little earlier, but I'm pretty happy with that. So I then swapped to go move my Haunted Mansion because that's at 1, and I thought maybe we could get it earlier. Immediately got a 10:35. So Haunted Mansion is now in like an imminent time space, which is amazing. I'm gonna go ride Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, and I think we're gonna have to use our open lightning lane at that point to get something reasonable, like Tomorrowland Speedway, and then we can be done in Tomorrowland. And then we'll head on over to Haunted Mansion. Maybe try to get stuff around that area, try to get Tiana's Bayou Adventure moved up. It is like advanced level difficult to not zigzag when you are trying to maximize lightning lane, trying to get the best lightning lanes, because sometimes the best lightning lanes will be across the entire park and immediately one after the other. But we're gonna do our best today to not zigzag too bad. So if I finish Tomorrowland, we don't have to come back here, which will be great. Fun fact, you can scan in 5 minutes early to a lightning lane. So my Buzz Lightyear lightning lane is at 9:05. I'm gonna scan in right at 9. Maybe, depending on how far I get into my coffee. Part of the beauty of Lightning Lane is that the waiting you do is not in line, it's like sitting at a table with coffee, which is nice. But anyway, things are going well so far. Okay, I did wait a second just to finish my coffee. 20-minute wait for Buzz right now that we'll be skipping. With our Lightning Lane, we're gonna scan in and then try to grab a good Tomorrowland Speedway for right now, ideally. You guys think we should Galactic Defender today? I think we should Galactic Defender today. I can only get 11 a.m. for Tomorrowland Speedway, so we'll probably modify that when we get off. But maybe there's a Mad Tea Party or Barnstormer or Dumbo we can get. This is getting upgrades, which I'm quite excited about. Let's see what we can do here, huh? Okay, I did get Galactic Hero. Make sure if you get a perfect score of 999,999 that you take a picture of it. They were out of stickers, but they have prepped buttons. So I've got a little Galactic Hero button I'm gonna put on my bag, which is great. All right, now, yeah, Tomorrowland Speedway was out at 11, which, bleh, who wants that? That far out. So we are instead grabbing Mad Tea Party, which was available for 9:30. Just gonna pick that up real quick. And then maybe try to get Tomorrowland Speedway again, we'll see. 11's just a little late for it. I don't know, I'm gonna try to get some in this area. Just Storybook Circus would be good too. Dumbo and Barnstormer are actually a little harder to get than like the base. Dumbo in particular can get a couple of hours out. When you're booking Lightning Lanes, you're booking the next available. So it is a little bit of a game of getting the time you want, but we're gonna see what we can do here. I love not spinning on the teacups. You spin a little still, but not too much. Oh, also, I originally got a Dumbo, and then I just refreshed like twice and was able to get a Tomorrowland Speedway for right now. So we'll do that, and then I'm debating doing Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, because it's a bit longer of an experience. It'll probably take like 30 minutes, so I don't even know if I want to do it, period. But I mean, it can't. You know, it's another Lightning Lane, so it can't hurt. So we'll probably do Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, be done with Tomorrowland, before heading over to Haunted Mansion at 10:30. Time to drive a little car. Nothing like driving a little car. Right. Ignore the fact that uploads are running on my phone right now. All right, let's go ahead and book Monsters Inc. I'm laughing because is the wheel always on this side? No. Some of them have wheels on the American side, and some have them on the European side. Since when? What? I never ride it with the wheels on this side. Well, anyway, how you guys doing? I'm tailgating this person. But they could really floor it, honestly. There's no speed limit, and these things only go like 8 miles an hour. I could walk faster than this. I sound like my dad in traffic. Anyway, how are you guys? I love going for a drive with y'all. Nothing like it. Tomorrowland Speedway, check. I think that I officially go to Disney World too much because I am good at driving the Speedway cars now. Like, I don't bump at all. I can just drive it, which, like, I didn't even think was possible. So, you know, yikes, a lot of bubbles there. Walking over to Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. I was debating whether or not to do this one because it is a longer experience. Between like waiting for the show to start and the show, it's like 20 to 30 minutes, honestly, even though the show itself is only about 10. That said, it's probably gonna move a little smoother this time of morning. And I'd rather do it than, you know, miss the Lightning Lane in Magic Kingdom before heading to another park later. So figure we'll just go ahead and knock it out and be done with Tomorrowland and head over to Frontierland and Liberty Square for Haunted Mansion. Do some stuff on that side of the park.
Hello, humans!
Ah!
Come on, you can do better than that. Hello, humans!
Ah! That's a delightful show every single time. It makes me laugh. There's audience participation. It's a super sweet show. I just highly recommend it. I think it's easy to walk past it, but don't. That's Tomorrowland. That's every Lightning Lane in Tomorrowland except for Tron, which is not available with MultiPass. And we are trying to spend as little as possible to skip the lines today, so only MultiPass is what we have. We're gonna head over now to Frontierland because, great news, I pulled a Tiana's Bayou Adventure for $10.20, which means I can scan in 1 minute. So that's incredible. We'll do Tiana's, we'll do Haunted Mansion, and I also was able to grab a Pirates of the Caribbean for around 11. So after we scan into Tiana's, we will probably grab something like Peter Pan's Flight, Jungle Cruise, one of those ones that's down in the evening at like 7 p.m. now. And then we'll start working on trying to get that a little earlier. Something to note about Lightning Lane is that we often get comments on videos like this that we're only so successful with Lightning Lane because we're only one person. That is actually not the case. So not only have we tested this, but Disney has also said that your party size doesn't matter as long as it is under the maximum party size for Lightning Lane. The Lightning Lanes are party units, not person units. So I can have 10 people connected to me right now and would be seeing the same Lightning Lanes pop up. There's no advantage to being a smaller party with Lightning Lane. And we've tested this before where some of us have tried to book Lightning Lanes for just one person, while another has been connected to 4 or 5 people and tried to book the same Lightning Lanes at the same time, and you see exactly the same stuff pop up. So just keep in mind that the strategies that I'm using today will work for you with a larger party. The only catch is it's a little bit harder to navigate the wants and needs of a larger party in the theme park, so you might not move quite as quickly depending on your party's needs. But as for the system, works the same either way. All right, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. This is a new attraction here in Disney World, themed to the story of Tiana, shortly after the events of Princess and the Frog. Now, something I will say, you see that 25-minute wait? It's actually pretty common for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, so you might want to swing for something like Peter Pan's Flight or Jungle Cruise instead, as Lightning Lanes go, even though it'll look like this is the most high demand. First drop, worst drop. Oh! You'll think, oh, I'm safe, you're not safe. Oh, you're not safe. You're not safe. You will get wetter on the first drop than the second drop, the big drop. I don't know that I've ever gotten soaked like that on Tiana's. I am soaked, dude. My legs, my pants, soaked to the bone. My shirt's soaked through. My hair is wet. Like, I really got. I ride Tiana's a lot. I ride the front row a lot. I got unlucky today. Yeah, a lot of water, which means Haunted Mansion is gonna be cold. I wish I was riding like magic carpets right now. Honestly, maybe I could see if I can get one, but I did get a Lightning Lane for Peter Pan's Flight. It's all the way out in the evening, which is not when I want to use it, but it's a lot easier to refresh for better times for a specific attraction if you already have a Lightning Lane for that attraction, which brings me to a great point, which is refreshing for better Lightning Lanes. Now, the way I've been getting better Lightning Lanes today, you'll see I book something and then I just refresh for a while until I get something better, is I hit the modify the selection, and then I go and I look through all of the Lightning Lanes that I'm looking for to see if there are any particularly good times that I can grab. This is very effective, and you should be doing it even if you're not trying to maximize Lightning Lane. Just kind of, if you have 5 minutes, you know, so even 2 minutes, go try and see if you can modify for better times if you don't have something perfect. In most cases, I can find something much better for pretty much any ride in just like 10 minutes of refreshing, which is a lot of time to be on your phone kind of glancing at it. But honestly, if you're waiting in another line, if you're waiting on a mobile order, it's not too bad to do. You absolutely do not have to do that to get your money's worth with Lightning Lane anymore. You don't have to be super invested in your phone all day, which I know is a big complaint of this service, is it does keep you kind of glued to your phone. You really don't have to be glued to your phone with this. The 3 at a time situation makes this much better than its predecessor, Genie Plus. In that regard, you just don't have to be on your phone as much. But if you are willing to refresh a couple of minutes out of your day, you can probably get some Lightning Lanes that fit a little bit better into your plans, which means getting to do more. So it's kind of a give and take, whichever you want to do. All right, Haunted Mansion time. So a moving dark ride that takes you into a haunted house full of 999 happy haunts. There's room for 1,000. Maybe you could be that 1,000th haunt. Very iconic, classic Disney attraction, absolutely a must do. And right now it's a 40-minute wait. So we're gonna skip that with our Lightning Lane. My hair is slowly drying. I need to clean off my glasses. But I think I'm gonna grab, I don't know, carpets is being really stubborn and stuck at like 1 p.m. I have a 12:40 for it, but that's like, I'm not waiting that long for a carpets Lightning Lane. So I think I'm just gonna grab Mickey's Flower Magic real quick to do before our Pirates Lightning Lane at 11:40. And while I'm doing that, I will attempt to get a better, I'll go back to carpets after I do it, and then I'll attempt to get a better Peter Pan's Flight while I'm doing all those things. So just went ahead and swapped to fill our magic. We'll go scan into that and then see if we can't get a better Peter Pan's Flight in the meantime. Now it is 11 a.m. This is where we're gonna start feeling that it's spring break. It was still early this morning when we have been having our successes so far, but now that the day has kind of gotten going, we're gonna start seeing some more challenges. Peter Pan's Flight, for instance, is completely booked up for the day now, in addition to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I do have a 6:40 p.m. Peter Pan's Flight. I would like to not be in Magic Kingdom at 6:40 p.m. So we're just gonna see if we can get that up, see if someone drops one a little earlier. It can always happen, even when you see a ride completely booked up. You never know when someone might change plans, decide they want to go somewhere else in the afternoon, or get a really good dining reservation, or maybe they want to go back and take a nap. People's plans change all the time, and so do their Lightning Lanes, which means Lightning Lanes are opening up all the time. So just keep looking, keep refreshing. Now, another thing I'll say is that if your plans change, make sure to cancel your Lightning Lanes. Don't just leave one that you know you're not going to use, because that way it opens it up for somebody else to use so that they can keep having a good day in Disney World too. Maybe it's me trying to show off how much you can do with this system. You never know. All right, we're going to scan into the Lightning Lane for Mickey's PhilharMagic 3D show where Donald kind of ends up magicked through all the different Disney movies. Headed towards my Pirates Lightning Lane now. I was able to get an okay carpets for after Pirates. It's not ideal. I'd be happy to give that up, honestly. Right now I'm working on trying to get Peter Pan a bit earlier. I was able to move it, like scooch it up. I had it at 6:40, it's now at 6:15. So I would like a bigger scooch than that, or a prime Jungle Cruise. I would take either of those things. So I'm just gonna kind of idly refresh. I can scan into my Pirates Lightning Lane in about 7 minutes, which is about enough time to walk over there at a leisurely pace. So we'll do that as soon as we get over there, and then look into something to see what we can do as things start to get a little more difficult here. And we are skipping a solid 35-minute line here with Pirates. Whew. Okay, check on Pirates. Okay, so here's the deal. I have a not bad Small World and a 1240 carpets, so I could at this time eat and try to get a better Peter Pan's flight, which I think is a good idea. There's not really anything great right now that I haven't already done, so I think that's what we'll do. A little lunch break. I just crushed a fish platter and some fries. Really crushed it. Yeah, so I have Small World and carpets after lunch, which I can scan into Small World in like 7 minutes, so I'm about to get up. Then I think I'm gonna try to get through as many as I can in like an immediate sense, like as many as I can get within the hour. If I can't get anything within the hour, I think I'm gonna hop to either Epcot or Animal Kingdom. I looked at their Lightning Lanes, and both of them, most of the Lightning Lanes in the park are like immediate. So if I go over to one of those, I could get a bunch done in this middle more crowded part of the day. Then I can come back to Magic Kingdom, which also works because it's open later than the other parks. I don't know that I'm gonna mess with Hollywood Studios, even though it does actually have not horrible availability today. I just don't think I'm gonna mess with it because both Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom have the problem that they have a lot of shows. Shows, one, are time consuming, so not great when you're trying to do a lot of stuff. And two, they are not a great use of Lightning Lane because the Lightning Lane doesn't really get you much besides like guaranteed seating into the show. And as long as you arrive 20 to 30 minutes before a show, and even you can walk up right when they're starting for a lot of shows, you don't really need to worry about the Lightning Lane. So I don't really want to mess with shows. So Epcot, I think, is going to be our best bet for getting our numbers up on Lightning Lanes and still getting to ride some pretty cool rides. It's just obviously the most popular rides at Epcot are booked up at this point. It is noon during spring break, but you never know. We could get a miracle. We could get on Frozen today. I'm still wet from Tiana's. Okay, we are back to the Lightning Lane grind, boarding into Small World at this time. Good wait here that we're skipping. Looks like 25 to 30 minutes to me. 2 scan points for the Small World, so we'll have to scan again when we get up here. And then I'm going to see what our options are booking-wise. Hopefully, we can find something good. All right, Small World's very fun, of course. Now, on to Magic Carpets of Aladdin. Serious moves have been made. So, standing here while waiting for this to come back up, which it was just a brief, they basically stopped the ride while folks were on it. They came down, they deboarded, they had to run it without people on it, and then they had to put those people back on so they got the full ride. And then the ride moved. So it was like a 10-15, it was like a 10-minute closure. It really was not a big deal. While standing there, I was able to get a Little Mermaid, which was out around 4 p.m. for right now. I have a Dumbo for right now. And I was able to move my Peter Pan from 5:25, where I've been scooching it up all day, to 3:15, which means if I can get that, it's really just Barnstormer, Jungle Cruise, and Winnie the Pooh that I don't have. Barnstormer is doable. It's at like 4:30 right now. I think I can get it up. Winnie the Pooh's down at 8:30. I don't know if it'll be worth it. And then Jungle Cruise I've been fighting that battle for a little while. I'm not sure about it. But the second we stop having luck, we'll just leave this park and go to another to keep getting our numbers up. And I'm just excited I get to ride Peter Pan's flight. I was not sure that we were gonna make that work. Definitely so much for not backtracking and zigzagging. We're definitely in the zigzag. That's the thing about making the most. The zigzagging will happen. Seven Doors Mine Train, in addition to Tron, is another one we won't be doing today. Does offer Lightning Lane, but it's a single pass extra charge. And we're sticking with the base offering. Right now, currently active, I have both Jumbo and Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. I think I'm gonna do Under the Sea first. All right, Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. Little dark ride. Ride in a clamshell, takes you through the story of the Little Mermaid. A very sweet ride. Barnstormer and The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. See if I can't get one of those. And of course, if a Jungle Cruise pops up, I will take it. Because now I definitely am gonna be here until we get on Peter Pan, which should happen at about 3:15. It's a little after 1 right now, so not a ton of time left before we're gonna say peace out to Magic Kingdom, because we've almost gotten all the Lightning Lanes here, which is absolutely wild. Under the Sea done, went ahead and booked Barnstormer, want a better time for it, so we're gonna do some refreshing while we head to Dumbo. So right now, I was able to get a Winnie the Pooh for like 9, 10 p.m. The reason I kind of am okay with that for now is that all the other parks close at 9. So if I'm holding one slot to get one more Lightning Lane after all the other parks close, it's kind of fine by me. Of course, if I can get it earlier to before I have to leave Magic, I will. But if not, you know, I'm okay with it. I do think that we're about to get into the part of the day where it gets even harder to get Lightning Lanes. Plans really stop changing around 4 p.m. Everyone knows what they're doing for the rest of the day around 4 p.m., which means refreshing starts to be less useful after that point. So that's probably when I'm gonna be refreshing a little less aggressively and just going for what I can get to try to get our count up really high. I think from here, I'm kind of considering going to Animal Kingdom and then Epcot, because I think that I can get through most Lightning Lanes in both before Epcot closes. Also, I was able to get my Barnstormer from like after 5 p.m. up to 2:20, which is in 15 minutes. Barnstormer is right here, so I am not going far. I'm actually gonna go sit in one of my favorite places to sit in Magic Kingdom when you need a break from the crowds, the noise, to relax. Actually great if you have anybody in your party with sensory sensitivities. This can be a great place to cool off. It is this yellow tent back behind these signs in the very back of Storybook Circus. Lots of seating, there are charging ports, and most of the time, that's all it is seating, so there's not too much going on. Sometimes seasonally, there'll be like meet and greets, like Santa was in there during Christmas, but most of the time, primo spot. Sometimes there might be some embarrassing actions happening by YouTubers like us. We might be in there. There's a bug on my head. We might be in there, like, I don't know, playing Uno in a corner. Okay, I got a 6:35 Jungle Cruise, which is pretty good, especially because Jungle Cruise has been gone all day. I'm obviously not gonna stay here until 6:35. Now, what I'm considering doing is activating the third L, which is my new name for the Lightning Lane loophole. Get it? Because there's 3 L's. Basically, what that loophole is, the third L, is that it is said that there's a 15-minute grace window to come to a Lightning Lane after it's ended. So if it ends at 3, you have until 3:15. Actually, there is a secret 2-hour return window. Really, it's 1 hour and 59 minutes. So if your Lightning Lane ends at 3, then you actually have until 4:59 to return. And it will still turn green. They won't even, it's not even a question. So that might be what we do with Jungle Cruise tonight, is return after the park closes in another park and get there by 9:34, which will be the secret actual closure for it, using that third L loophole. But we'll see. I could also potentially get Winnie the Pooh if I did that in that after hours time as well. So we'll see. It's definitely an interesting option. But unless something crazy happens with one of those two, Winnie the Pooh or Jungle Cruise, I believe that after Barnstormer, we'll be headed to Peter Pan's flight, and that'll be the end of this part of our day in Magic Kingdom. We'll head to another park. Wouldn't be a Quincy ride challenge without a little Barnstormer check-in. I'm in the front row, which is great. We're doing pretty well. We're at 14. It's about 2 p.m., a little after 2. So I'm liking our numbers so far. Anyway, enjoy Barnstormer. Did you have fun? I've returned to my tent spot where I'm comfortable because my Lightning Lane for Peter Pan's flight is at 3:15, 2:54 right now. Probably gonna start walking over there in a second. But I haven't been able to get anything better for Jungle Cruise. I think I'm gonna stick with my plan of doing that late evening Jungle Cruise. I haven't been able to get a Winnie the Pooh either. So I think I'm gonna stick with a plan of coming back after park close to Jungle Cruise, and maybe I'll be able to stack a Winnie the Pooh on there too, which would be really cool. In the meantime, I think we're gonna go to Animal Kingdom because there are like 4 to 5 that I can get there quickly, and then move on to Epcot and get hopefully another 5 to 8 before coming back here. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm excited for Peter Pan. I love that ride. Peter Pan's flight. Love this one. Absolutely classic attraction where you fly in a pirate ship over to London and then off to Neverland. It is a super sweet attraction and one that does tend to have a pretty long wait because it has a lower capacity and it is very popular to this day. So a great one to use a Lightning Lane on and a great one for us to have gotten a 3 p.m. Lightning Lane on. All right, about to start looking for something, but I'm going to show you something real quick. So you want to set your day up where you can have these selections because this moves them to the top of the tip board so you can keep your eye on them. So, I have Jungle Cruise. I'm not going to keep an eye on that anymore. This is the one I'm looking for. So that's the only thing I'm going to leave checked. And then, even though it's alphabetically much further down, it's the app right at the top. So when I refresh like this, it's just going to immediately show me if anything pops up for Winnie the Pooh. Alright, I think with that, we are saying bye to Magic Kingdom for now. We are going to come back for that Jungle Cruise after the other parks close, but I'm also trying to get a Winnie the Pooh for this evening. It was popping up a good bit at around the 9 p.m. range earlier, but now it looks like it's pretty locked up. Still going to keep looking for it though, because Magic Animal Kingdom, the only Lightning Lane that isn't within 20 to 30 minutes is Cali River Rapids. So I think I can navigate that park with using only one Lightning Lane slot. Alright, great news. I got my end of the day Winnie the Pooh. Ooh, which was quite involved. I've been looking for that one for a long time. So right now I do have my 3 that I'm holding. I have one for Cali River Rapids, which is a little less than an hour from now. I might switch away from that one if it makes more sense for me to do something else when I get over there. But that's the only Animal Kingdom Lightning Lane that isn't like within 20 to 30 minutes of now, and that pattern will likely continue. People tend to leave Animal Kingdom in the afternoon because most consider it a half-day park and it opens pretty early and it closes earlier than the other parks, so you don't typically want to head there in the afternoon unless you want to take advantage of those lower waits. Good line here for Animal Kingdom, which is a good sign. Hopefully that means the bus is here soon. Okay, so Cali River Rapids is still a bit too far out. It's about an hour out right now from when I've arrived. And because I pulled that Winnie the Pooh, I have 2 Lightning Lanes now locked up in Magic Kingdom because I really have one to mess with here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep refreshing on Cali while I walk to like Dinosaur. And then when I'm at Dinosaur, I will just cancel Cali if I haven't gotten anything and grab Dinosaur. I don't think Dinosaur is super far out. No, it's for right now. Yeah, so I will literally just refresh Cali River Rapids until I'm ready to scan in. If I get a better Cali, I get a better Cali, and if not, scan in a Dinosaur. Right now, something I definitely want to note here about Lightning Lane and parks other than Magic Kingdom is that when you are looking to modify to a better time, if you're looking at a couple attractions as we have today, like for instance, I have Cali River Rapids right now. Say I'm looking at Dinosaur and Navi River Journey, hoping one of those will pop up. Every time I refresh, it will take me to the Magic Kingdom tab. which is very annoying. It means it's a little slower to refresh because you kind of just have to switch back and forth between Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom. So it's a little annoying. It's definitely easiest to do the refresh key in Magic, but you can still be successful. Took me about 4 minutes of refreshing while I strolled to get Cali River Rapids for right now. So we're gonna walk back there, since that appears to be our tricky one. And I'll probably keep looking for a Navi River Journey too while we're here, just because, I mean, that would be an extra, but that is kind of the only reason to get Lightning Lane in this park is Navi River Journey, so not optimistic, but it could happen. All right, Cali River Rapids, it is time. And the Lightning Lane for Cali is actually kind of hidden. It's back behind the ride. So you're gonna continue walking back towards Maharaja Jungle Trek, where if you come in the early morning, you might get to see the baby tiger, who is so cute. I have not seen him in person yet, but I need to. And we're gonna turn right to head to the Lightning Lane for this, skipping a 15-minute ride line and getting soaked, because that's what you do on Cali. The water rides are water rides today. Everybody in my raft got soaked, which usually you can get spared on Cali. No one was spared. It's like a giant, massive wave over everybody's head. Everybody laughed and clapped, so it was really cute. And I got more wet on Tiana's. So, you know. Expedition Everest is down, boo. So I'm headed to Kilimanjaro Safaris right now. I'm kind of refreshing for that Navi. I would love to get the Navi. I don't know about us getting the Navi, but you know, worth a shot. Otherwise, I think our count in this park is just gonna be the 4. But I still think worth coming over here because it was so easy for us to do that with just one Lightning Lane available. So, also, I love Animal Kingdom. So having a little Animal Kingdom detour in our day is great. Now, under normal circumstances, I would not use the Lightning Lane on this. It's only a 5-minute wait. Although, even in these circumstances, this might skip a couple of people. And there's no reason not to if you don't have anything else to use your Lightning Lane on. First things first, you gotta hear my new animal fact I learned today on the Kilimanjaro Safari, because I have ridden that ride so many times, dozens of times, potentially hundreds, and I still learn a new fact every time I ride. Today, I learned that the wildebeest herds, the massive herds that you see, are typically female, and that the male herds are very small. They tend to be much smaller. So that's really cool. I did not know that, and that means that the herd that killed Mufasa was probably ladies. Girl power. That's crazy. Okay, so I was able to get a Navi River Journey Lightning Lane for like $6.25. I was able to get it bumped to $6.10. I did see a $5.25, but I'm gonna be honest, I was looking at a warthog and I was not fast enough because I got distracted by the warthogs. So we have a $6.10 Navi River Journey Lightning Lane. I was on the fence of whether to keep that or to bail, just do Dinosaur and get out of here. I decided to keep it because I think that if we, you know, do Dinosaur and leave, we're gonna do about 2 Lightning Lanes, one in Epcot, one here. If we do dinner and then Navi River Journey and Everest comes up, there's a chance that we do 3 Lightning Lanes in around the same amount of time. So, you know, I think honestly it's probably just a toss-up. But it's definitely going to be easier for us to get an Everest Lightning Lane and a Dinosaur Lightning Lane than it will to get Lightning Lanes over in Epcot or Hollywood Studios if I decide to go there. So I think I am going to just keep trying to move that Navi River Journey up and have some dinner while I do it. I did also consider abandoning one of my Magic Kingdom Lightning Lanes for after close this evening, but I decided against because those are both basically free Lightning Lanes, because it's the only park that'll be open and they're the only thing I'll be able to do during that time. So for me to take advantage of that hour, I really do need to hold on to them. And I don't think that if I get rid of either of those, Winnie the Pooh or Jungle Cruise at this point, that I will be able to get them back. So I'm gonna hold on to them. I'm gonna keep working with my 1 free slot for now. Now, when a ride goes down, there are signs that you should look for to know how optimistic you should be about it coming back up. One thing is the language that they use. If you're in line and they tell you to stay in line or you're welcome to stay in line, then I would say typically that means that they are planning on having it up as fast as possible. If they are using language like, we do not know when it's going to be back up, we encourage you to go enjoy the park, that probably means it really could be a while. The signs I'm seeing with Everest right now that are telling me it might not come up for the rest of the park day. One, as soon as it went down, Lightning Lane availability went away. If it was only going to be down for about an hour, then they might have pushed the Lightning Lanes out or paused them. But for Lightning Lanes to be fully cut, that means that it probably isn't going to come up, or they're not sure that it'll be up before the park closes at 7. The other thing is that there was a cast member standing at the entrance to Asia announcing that it was down, that they had no idea when it was going to be up, and to head other parts of the park. If they think a ride is going to come up soon, they're obviously going to be okay with people hanging out around the ride. So the fact they were encouraging people not to means, to me, we may not have Everest today. Still, I am happy with dinner, dinosaur, and Navi in our little window here. I am having dinner. I had bao buns and dirty martini at Nomad Lounge. I was able to move my Navi River Journey Lightning Lane up to 6:05, so I'll be able to scan in about 25 minutes, and I might be able to get it a little earlier. The great news is that Everest is up, which means this gamble paid off and that we're going to get 3 Lightning Lanes out of it, which is great. Then we'll head to Epcot until Epcot closes at 9, and we just have to be back. We'll probably leave Epcot a little before it closes, honestly, because we just have to be back at Magic Kingdom by 9:34 to scan into Jungle Cruise is when we have to scan into Jungle Cruise. Winnie the Pooh I got from 8:35 to 9:35, so we'll be fine with that one until park close. So we just have to be back by 9:34. So we might leave Epcot a little early if we feel like there's danger there. We'll have to get on the monorail. It'll be busy if we wait until park close, so we'll see. When I say Mahe Kane Wano, you say Mahahu Wane Kani. I don't think that's the lyrics. I don't speak Navi. But something like that. Mahe Atari Kano Navi Navi Ano I. Ah. That's what the shaman says. She goes, ah. I love the shaman. We're about to get to go see her. We can scan in 3 minutes. Our Lightning Lane starts at 6:05. As soon as we do, we're booking Lightning Lane 4 across the park. I guess we'll do Everest first and then do Dinosaur. And that'll be all the non-show Lightning Lanes that aren't Flight of Passage, which is a single pass, in this park, done in like only a couple of hours, really. We'll head to Epcot until it closes and then pop back to Magic for our final count. Scanned in, Lightning Lane, Navi. Now we gotta book Dinosaur or Everest, whichever one we feel like means less walking. I think they both mean a lot of walking. I am crashing, as is to be expected, but we only have 2 more rides in Animal Kingdom, then we're headed to Epcot. So lots of fun still to be had. Just maybe with another coffee in hand or an apple. Dad, Mom, that's for you. I did use the Maps ability. You can get directions to what rides you want to do in the Disney app, my Disney Experience app. I did use it to see which was closer to me between Dinosaur and Everest, because they're both kind of a haul to the front entrance. I think Dinosaur is a touch closer, but regardless, it's also a touch closer to here, so I don't know. I think I have to do the same amount of walking regardless of where I go. So I'm gonna walk to Dinosaur, then walk to Everest, and then head out. Dinosaur time, baby. My beloved ride, one of my favorites. It is on the chopping block right now.
No worries,
It's gonna get replaced with an Indiana Jones attraction, which will be cool, and I'm excited or whatever, but I do love this ride. It was my favorite ride when I was a teenager because it is genuinely thrilling, genuinely scary. That said, this is a blast into the past, into the time of the dinosaurs, right around when the asteroid hits. It is dark. There are scary dinos, and it does shake you around quite aggressively. This is not for everyone. As you can see, we are skipping nobody in line today, but we are heading in to see Dr. Grant Seeker and Felicia Rashad. All right, and our finale is Everest. I just booked a 6:25 one as soon as I scanned into Dinosaur. which is one of the last ones. In fact, let me look. Yeah, now none are available, which not that you need one. It's only a 20-minute wait, which for Everest is probably a walk-on. But we're gonna go use the Lightning Lane on it before we head over to Epcot. And as soon as I scan in here at Everest, I'm gonna see what I can book at Epcot that would be useful for us. And if there's something better at Hollywood Studios, maybe we'll go to Hollywood Studios. And with that, my hair looking whack from multiple water rides and many a roller coaster, we are done with Animal Kingdom. I will say, Expedition Everest is not really for me anymore. I would say it's the most intense roller coaster in Disney World. Rockin' obviously gives it a run for its money, but I find this one more intense just because the G-forces are more intense. And I have been struggling with it lately, which if you watch the channel, you know, because I often skip it. The only time I don't skip it is with challenges. Luckily, it didn't beat me up too much this time, but yeah, you know, it's okay to grow out of your favorite rides. I used to ride Everest many times in a row. Those days are behind me. Everyone, cross your fingers that we have hashtag bus luck. I often have bus luck on challenges. I do not have ride luck. My rides break down, but bus luck, I've got. Bus luck, bus luck, bus luck. We're trying to get to Epcot. So if an Epcot bus is just like sitting there waiting for us, that's the ideal bus luck scenario. I will also take a long Epcot line, but not too long. That means a bus might be coming soon. Oh, it's all the way at the end. I see long lines down there for sure. I see a Magic Kingdom bus. The squirrels are going crazy. I don't know if you guys have seen the squirrels this episode, but I feel like they're planning something. All right, we're here, our third park of the day. I am tired, but we'll get us a coffee to kickstart on the way back to Magic Kingdom. Gotta do some rides here first. It is 7:28, this park closes at 9, so we have about an hour and a half to get as many Lightning Lanes as we can. I already have one for Spaceship Earth that we'll do on the way in. We gotta be careful about making it back by 9:34. If we do not scan in a Jungle Cruise by 9:34, that secret Lightning Lane window will not save us. We will not get that Lightning Lane, so it's not the end of the world if we get one more here, I suppose, but still, something to keep an eye on. Just a little 5-minute wait we're skipping here, but skipped no one. Good for us. I went with Journey into Imagination with Figment as my next Lightning Lane because even though it was the furthest away, I also know that it's the shortest ride, which means I'm most likely to be able to get on something immediately after this, which means I might be able to get more rides done than if I rode a longer attraction like Soarin' or Living with the Land. I think I'm gonna get Living with the Land next because that one's out at 8:20 and that should line up with when I make it over there. And then I can do Soarin', and if I'm really ahead of time, I can do Pixar Short Film Theater, but I doubt it because that's a long show. I have a confession to make. I don't know that I've ever said this on the channel, maybe I have, but I love Journey into Imagination. I love the iteration that it is today. I never saw the old versions. I understand that the first one was the best objectively and the second one was the worst objectively. And this is the third iteration. I love this one. And I get why people hate on it, but I have loved this ride since I was a little kid. It is so nostalgic for me. I think it is so funny. I love Dr. Nigel Channing. I think it is so funny when he turns to the moon. I love going to all the different labs. I think it's so fun that the idea of the touch and taste lab exists and you don't get to go. Then you go to Figment's house. I love this ride. I love everything about it. And I'm not afraid to say it. I am who I am. I was right about timing. It is 8:11 and that Living with the Land reservation starts at 8:20, which means we can scan in 4 minutes. I'm gonna kind of book it there because as fast as my very tired legs will let me. If you want to stop, count, check in, and we're at 22,000. I am wanting to scan in there pretty quick because, as we know, Lightning Lanes kind of stop around 30 to 35 minutes prior to the park close. So I think we probably have one more in us, unless we just blazed by really quick. Honestly, I think I made one misstep here. We maybe could have gotten one more ride in, Maybe not, honestly, but maybe. Had I done the Seas with Nemo and Friends before doing Spaceship Earth, because the Seas does tend to close early, closed an hour before park closed tonight, so I could have done that right when I got here, but that's the only time I had to do it, and I did Spaceship Earth instead, which I don't know that I would have time before park closed to have gotten the Seas and these other ones I'm doing done, but you know, maybe. So that's just a pro tip if you are trying to get a bunch of rides done in the day or hanging out late at Epcot and have promised your kiddo all day that you'll do the Seas before you leave. Just keep in mind it does tend to close early. You can see its hours on the My Disney Experience app, and I do recommend checking those because it's sometimes a little different. All right, just get into Living with the Land, which means I can go ahead and book Soarin', which is gonna be our next one. And that's gonna be our end, I think. I do not think there's a world where I get scanned into Soarin' in time to book the last Lightning Lane of the day. If I can, maybe I will, honestly, because I don't know. It's just dicey with having to be back at Magic by 9:34 anyway. Well, I don't know. I am pretty happy with what our number is going to be as is. If I can wedge an extra one in there, I will. Okay, here's the deal. So it is about an hour, a little bit under an hour, until I need to be scanning into Jungle Cruise. I probably should skip Soarin' if I want to confirm that I'm going to make that, but I figure, you know, in a blue moon, there's a chance that everything goes right and I walk up right as the monorail gets here and the crowds aren't crazy into Magic Kingdom and I can get both. And if I skip Soarin', then I'm guaranteeing only one. Even if I might not make Jungle Cruise, it's like either I only get Jungle Cruise or I get Soarin' and maybe get Jungle Cruise. So regardless, we will have Winnie the Pooh to finish our day in Magic Kingdom. It just depends on if we get 2 Jungle Cruise or not in time, which kind of depends just on how quickly Soarin' and the transportation goes. All right, I don't think it's possible to exit Epcot, wait for the monorail, get on the monorail, transfer monorails at the Transportation Ticket Center, monorail to Magic Kingdom, get off that monorail, walk through Magic Kingdom's Jungle Cruise in 34 minutes, but I'm gonna try. And if we don't make it, we'll ride Winnie the Pooh. And our finale is coming. I will say I am very proud of our Lightning Lane count. So let's just see if we can get one higher. Luminous is going on, so hopefully folks are still here. I'm mostly still watching that. Give us a little less traffic on the monorail. Oh, our timing might be good. The monorail is coming in right now for its circle it does around Epcot on the way into the station. So maybe we can get up the monorail ramp. We could be on that one as long as there's not a line. Which there are a lot of people exiting right now, but it's not like a shocking amount. And they aren't all headed to the monorail, I'll tell you that. Many of them are headed to buses or their cars. Okay, I have made it to the Transportation Ticket Center, and honestly, that could happen. Fireworks just ended. I watched them end. They must have started at 9, which means the mass exodus is going to be happening right now of everybody leaving during the fireworks. So that would be going upstream to get to Jungle Cruise, and that is a bit of a challenge. I mean, there's still 14 minutes. It could happen. All right, I am going to say that, Jungle Cruise is probably a loss at this point. It is 3 minutes until, hi, thank you. Now 2 minutes until I would need to scan in and still turn green. So no Jungle Cruise for us. We're just gonna head and do our finale at Winnie the Pooh, where I'll reveal our final count. Kids ride, sweet ride. I love riding this one at night after fireworks. One of my favorite things to do. Stages too. We bond over that fact. Many things Quage has in common. This is one of them. All right, now here's where you'll see that third L loophole. This is the only time we've actually used it today because I didn't make Jungle Cruise. But my Lightning Lane ended at 9. It is 9:40. And we still turn green. It'll turn green until park close. And if the park was open till 11, it would turn green till 10:59 because it is 1 hour and 59 minutes after it says your lightning lane will end. Results reveal time. It is 9:50. The park closes in 10 minutes. We are at 25.3 thousand steps, which nowhere near my max. If you want to see my maximum, check out my attempt of no sleep Disney World. I've only done that once. That one. Check that out. Our final count on lightning lanes for today is a whopping 25 lightning lanes in one day, only purchasing Lightning Lane MultiPass and using solid strategies to navigate it. Honestly, that's too many. You just don't need to do 25 lightning lanes in one day to have a great day, but you can use today's strategies to do the lightning lanes you want to do and make the most of your day. I got every single lightning lane in Magic Kingdom, except for Jungle Cruise. But I did get it, I just didn't make it to it in time. Now as always, if you're still here, please like the video and drop this secret code in the comments so we know you made it all the way. If you're new here, subscribe for tips, games, challenges, and more from Disney World and beyond 7 days a week. We're pretty serious about fun here. Thanks for watching. Bye!